Lil Durk is facing mounting legal troubles as new court documents link him to past murders, creating a storm of controversy. Federal authorities have tied his name to Stefan Mack, who was killed in 2022, and OTF Jam's baby mama, Octavia Redmond, tragically murdered in early 2024. The connection between these cases raises serious questions about Durk's involvement and whether there's a deeper pattern unfolding. The murder of Stefan Mack, who was ambushed outside the Youth Peace Center in Chicago, has resurfaced with shocking allegations that Lil Durk may have financed the hit. Federal investigators claim Durk offered money to target Mack's gang, though he hasn't been formally charged in this case. However, the accusations add to his existing legal battles, including charges in Los Angeles for allegedly funding a murder-for-hire plot against rapper Quando Rondo. Durk's social media and music are now under intense scrutiny, with federal agents examining cryptic Instagram posts and song lyrics they believe hint at Mack's murder. Shortly after Mack's death, Durk posted an OTF-themed image that authorities allege celebrated the crime. A month later, he released the song Aha, which investigators are analyzing for possible references to the incident. Beyond these clues, court documents reveal investigators have been combing through phone records, firearm purchases, and text messages to build their case. Despite his legal team's efforts to secure a $3.3 million bond, the court denied it, citing the seriousness of the charges. With both cases hanging over him, Durk's future looks increasingly uncertain as federal investigators dig deeper into his past. Allegations surrounding Lil Durk have intensified as new details surface about the murder of Stefan Mack, reportedly tied to gang rivalries between Durk's OTF crew and the gangster disciples. Federal investigators suggest Durk may have financed Mack's assassination as part of a retaliation plot following the tragic murder of his brother, Dante Banks Jr., D. Thang, in 2021. D. Thang's death, believed to be linked to ongoing gang feuds, reportedly set Durk on a path of vengeance, leading to suspicions of orchestrated hits on rival factions. Mack, a member of the Gangster Disciples Smashville faction, was gunned down outside Chicago's Youth Peace Center in January 2022. Investigators allege the murder wasn't random, but rather a calculated move funded by Durk to avenge his brother. Federal documents also connect Durk to other violent incidents, including the murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo, tied to the 2020 killing of King Von, one of Durk's close associates. Adding fuel to the fire, whispers suggest an insider betrayal within Durk's circle. Reports allege that OTF Jam, a trusted crew member who was released from prison in 2022, has been cooperating with federal agents. Jam is accused of providing critical evidence directly linking Durk to the alleged plots, raising suspicions that he might have been wearing a wire. This betrayal could significantly strengthen the federal case against Durk. Despite his attempts to stay ahead of mounting charges, including accusations tied to cryptic social media posts and song lyrics, the legal pressure is closing in. With federal agents building a robust case and insiders allegedly flipping, Durk's future hangs in the balance as the streets and courts seem to converge against him.
12 years.
12
Got
years?
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he...
Jam's supposed betrayal had deep roots in personal and gang dynamics. It all started when Jam's baby mama reportedly reached out for legal help during her own troubles. Word is Durk ignored the request, brushing it off, and Jam didn't take kindly to the disrespect. Soon after, whispers started circulating that Jam was wearing a wire recording conversations and feeding critical information to the authorities about Durk and OTF.
Look into OTF Jam.
I think we looked into him already.
He's the one that ate the cheese.
No way. No.
Even other artists seemed to predict Durk's downfall long before it happened, with some even capitalizing on the situation. FBG Butta notably called out Durk's eventual arrest nearly a year before it became reality, adding fuel to the ongoing tensions.
Just like the evidence they had on Shorty, and they had on Durk too.
that you just paid to get your brother killed. How you not in jail?
Reputation. A rapper who lived what he rapped about. To law enforcement, it reinforced their perception of him as more than just an artist, but someone deeply entrenched in criminal activity. Despite his growing fame, Durk couldn't shake the grip of the streets. His 2013 arrest underscored the double-edged sword of his authenticity. While it earned him respect in the rap world, it also kept him under constant scrutiny. The charge of unlawful use of a weapon by a felon carried serious implications, and the weight of his prior record only made matters worse. At that point, Durk's music career was gaining momentum, and he was emerging as one of the leading voices in Chicago's drill scene. But incidents like these made it clear that his past wasn't something he could easily leave behind. With every success he achieved in music, his legal troubles and street affiliations continued to pull him back, creating a narrative of a rapper trying to navigate fame while staying true to his roots. The 2013 arrest, much like his earlier one, served as a reminder of the thin line Durk was walking between his rising career and his past life. While his music was taking off, giving him a platform to tell his story, the system was watching closely, ready to bring his past into the spotlight whenever he stumbled. Credibility. To the police, it reinforced the narrative that he wasn't just a rapper, but a product of Chicago gang culture, someone deeply tied to the violence and chaos plaguing the city. Durk spent some time locked up after this charge. It wasn't his first time behind bars, and it wouldn't be his last. However, it served as a wake-up call in many ways, pausing his budding career and forcing him to reflect on his choices. His history with gang violence isn't helping his case now, painting him as a repeat offender of violent crimes, even as he tries to soften his public image. Fighting against the life behind bars, Lil Durk flipped the narrative in August 2024. Appearing on Instagram, he looked more grounded than ever, expressing a desire to be seen differently. He conveyed that he didn't want to be labeled as anything other than a man, a father, and someone fully committed to his Muslim faith. This wasn't a casual statement. It came across as a shift in energy, a declaration that he was distancing himself from the gang life that had shadowed him for years. Durk emphasized in his Instagram story that he doesn't gangbang since he's a Muslim. He made it clear that one cannot claim the streets while walking a path of faith, stating the two were incompatible. It was an honest and reflective moment that revealed his growth and accountability. While his music would still reflect the life he lived, it wasn't about glorifying gang ties or violence anymore. Instead, his focus was on becoming a better man for himself, his family, and his fans. This shift wasn't an overnight realization. Durk had been publicly Muslim since 2020, but the losses and chaos he faced in recent years seemed to hit differently. Losing his close friend King Von and his brother D Thang to gun violence deeply affected him. Mourning their deaths made him realize how much that street energy continued to pull him into a cycle of pain. On top of that, his health challenges forced him to slow down and prioritize what truly mattered. Earlier in 2024, Durk spoke about his time in rehab. While he didn't share every detail, his message was clear. He had battled substance abuse and made the decision to clean up both physically and mentally. He described the experience as transformative, helping him significantly. For Durk, rehab wasn't something to hide or feel ashamed of. It was a crucial step toward peace. His main focus now is on his family, staying out of trouble, and creating a positive ripple effect. Determined to break free from destructive cycles, he's committed to staying on track for good. What makes this shift even more impactful is knowing how embedded Durk was in the street culture he's now distancing himself from. It's not an easy transition, way of proving he was more than his past, a man trying to make a difference. Losing that recognition, especially so publicly, was a major setback for someone working hard to rewrite his narrative. For Durk, the revocation of the honorary key and the termination of the partnership with neighborhood heroes struck at the core of his efforts to leave behind a troubled legacy. It wasn't just a blow to his public image, It was a personal hit to the progress he had made in becoming a better role model for his fans and community. The foundation, which had provided scholarships, mentorship programs, and resources to underserved youth, symbolized hope for a brighter future, both for Durk and those he aimed to uplift. But the legal troubles surrounding him created a storm too strong for Broadview's leadership to weather, forcing them to cut ties to preserve their community's image. This turn of events underscored the challenges of breaking away from a past rooted in the streets, especially when that past continues to resurface in the form of allegations and legal issues. For Durk, it's a harsh reminder that redemption isn't just about personal change. It's also about convincing others to believe in that change, even when the odds are stacked against him. Despite the setback, Durk's message of faith, family, and growth remains a powerful one. If he can navigate these challenges and continue working toward a positive impact, it could serve as a testament to his resilience and determination to break free from the cycles that once defined him. For now, however, his journey to redemption faces yet another uphill battle, pointing out the contrast between celebrating Durk's philanthropy one moment and condemning him the next. While some fans argue that the city abandoned him too quickly, others believe the allegations, even unproven, are too serious to ignore, especially for someone who had been honored as a community role model. For Durk, the revocation of the key to Chicago is more than just symbolic. It's a blow to his credibility and his efforts to reinvent himself as a leader and philanthropist. It reinforces the uphill battle he faces in proving that his past doesn't define his present or his future. Despite his philanthropy and public attempts to shift his image, the allegations against him have reignited the narrative of him being unable to escape the shadows of his past. This situation also raises broader questions about accountability and redemption. How much can someone's past weigh on their present? And how quickly should the public or officials sever ties when new allegations arise? Durk's situation highlights the delicate balance between recognizing growth and holding individuals accountable for their actions, whether proven or alleged. As of now, Durk's journey toward redemption faces another significant hurdle. While his foundation's work remains impactful, the loss of public trust and institutional support complicates his efforts to leave behind the life he's been trying to distance himself from. Whether Durk can overcome these challenges and reclaim his narrative remains to be seen, but the road ahead will undoubtedly test his resolve and his ability to rise above his circumstances. Questions about the dynamics within Durk's crew and the blurred lines between loyalty and criminal enterprise. Prosecutors are using this as an opportunity to paint OTF as more than just a music collective, framing it instead as a well-organized operation involved in violence and retribution. If these allegations hold up in court, Durk could be facing not only personal consequences, but the dismantling of his brand and everything he's built. The legal battle ahead is daunting, with the prosecution reportedly armed with social media evidence, phone records, and witness testimonies tying Durk to the alleged plot. For Durk's legal team, the challenge will be to separate the rapper's public persona and his music from the criminal accusations. They must argue that OTF is merely a label and not the criminal enterprise prosecutors claim it to be. What makes the situation even more precarious is the possibility of a RICO case being brought against Durk and his associates. RICO charges, designed to target organized crime, would allow prosecutors to connect multiple crimes under one umbrella, making it much harder for individuals to defend themselves. In Durk's case, this could mean that even if he didn't directly commit a crime, any perceived association or leadership within OTF could implicate him. As Durk's situation unfolds, it's clear that the stakes have never been higher. His ability to navigate this storm will not only determine his freedom, but also shape his legacy. The ongoing legal troubles highlight the difficulty of balancing a street persona with mainstream success and the risks that come with trying to leave a past rooted in violence and loyalty behind. Whether Durk can overcome this latest challenge and prove that his recent efforts at redemption are genuine remains to be seen. People have asked what part his crew may have played as hip-hop commentators. As a way to start a conversation, DJ Academics shared a picture of OTF member Jam allegedly eating McDonald's in a cell where he was being questioned. This picture caused a lot of talk on social media about possible snitching, with federal agents citing everything from text messages to financial records. In court documents, Durk's defense team has to break down a lot of proof. The prosecutors said Durk's acts weren't just for business. They said the hit was very personal. The death of King Von in 2020 was seen as the starting point by those who say Durk was out for revenge after losing a close friend in a fight with Rondo's camp. The federal case against him doesn't just include charges that he paid for the attack. Officials are also making up a story that Durk is the leader of a violent group that acts like a music collector. This way of putting things makes the court case even harder to win. Durk's lawyers are doing everything they can to separate the man from the picture that his music and Stree have made. Persona doesn't really show who he is. The defense is going to question the evidence very strongly, asking how things like money transfers or unclear text messages can show he meant to kill someone.
Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
They're also pointing out how Durk's fame makes him an easy target, especially with the kind of scrutiny he's dealt with because of his controversial past. But even with all that work, it's not looking good. Prosecutors are coming heavy with what they say is digital evidence, alleged texts between Durk and his OTF crew about flights, money, and planning. If that stuff holds up, it could be a big blow, making it harder for his team to argue that he's being unfairly accused, and with federal cases like this, the conviction rate is no joke. This isn't just about whether Durk goes to jail, it's about his whole legacy. He spent the last few years trying to clean up his image, moving from street ties to doing good through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. He put money into underserved areas, backed youth programs, and tried to show he could be a positive role model. But now all of that is being overshadowed by these charges even before a trial starts. The fallout is real. Partnerships with his charity have been dropped, awards pulled back, and public support is starting to waver for Durk's fans. This is a bitter pill to swallow. Many have stood by him through past legal troubles, believing in his transformation and his message of perseverance. But as the charges grow more serious, even his most loyal supporters are questioning whether the man behind the mic is truly separate from the life he's worked so hard to leave behind in the courtroom. His legal team faces an uphill battle. They'll need to not only poke holes in the prosecution's evidence, but also combat the public narrative that paints Durk as a puppet master, pulling strings behind the scenes as the trial looms. The pressure is mounting. Durk's freedom, his career, and his legacy hang in the balance for a rapper who's built his name on surviving against the odds. This may be his toughest fight yet. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click on one of the videos on your screen to dive into more content from our channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more.